Thank you so much, Ms. Aisha Kesrani. So welcome to everybody on board to this seminar on higher education quality and the challenges. So I welcome Dr. Abid Qayyum Silwari. He's the Executive Director of STPI, and he'll share his opening remarks and key thoughts regarding this Higher Education Commission and the higher education challenges. So I welcome Dr. Afshan Huma. She is in charge and chairperson of the Educational Planning and Policy at Allama Iqbal Open University. So we have with us Mr. Ahsanullah. He is educational expert and he is representing UNESCO. He has the expertise in monitoring and evaluation, and particularly from the educational perspective. We have also Ms. Rabiat Bassam. She is research associate at STPI, and also she is doing her MPhil in public policy from PIDE. So today she will be joining us as not only as the co-organizer, but also as sharing the students' perspective, that what sort of challenges that students are being faced in the higher education, and the other colleagues, Dr. Afshan, would be sharing the distance education and the challenges to the quality of the education at the university level. Later on, Dr. Nadia Tahir from Higher Education Commission would also be joining us. She is the Managing Director of Quality Assurance Agency at Higher Education Commission. So as soon as she will join, that we would like to know from her that what sort of quality issues and quality concerns are there. So with this very brief introduction, and thank you Tahir Dinsa and Ms. Fatma and so many others colleagues are online, Dr. Many doctor from STPI. So let me first request to Dr. Abid Qayyum Silwari, please share his welcome note and welcome remarks, and also share his thoughts about higher education. So Dr. Abid, please.
Well, thank you very much, Shahid, and a warm welcome to all the academicians and educational experts for being here with us for this webinar, which we are conducting to discuss this higher education and digital inclusiveness in the context of COVID-19. This is the 15th of the webinar series that we have started, and the aim is to get educated from you, get ideas, collect ideas from you, and then we try to convert them into digestible policy measures. We try to produce a couple of pages policy review, policy recommendations for the key decision makers, so that they can use them in these testing times. Today's topic is quite close to my heart, and the reason is that it's not only addressing higher education and it's not only addressing COVID-19, but it's also addressing inequality. We have observed different kinds of inequalities in the world and in Pakistan, but this whole online education and higher education online, when it was started, and I would say rightly started to so that students, they don't waste their precious time and they keep engaged in this learning atmosphere. It highlighted the digital inequality and digital divide in Pakistan as well. So while generally we have good connectivity, if we take the national average, and the cost of getting connected is also much cheaper compared to many other parts of the world and the peer economy, we found out that there is this huge mismatch and huge digital exclusiveness which exists. And perhaps this is the time that while we will be planning for post-COVID, one thing that we need to address is how we can have some sort of digital equality, because this sort of inequality, it has its regressive effects on marginalized and vulnerable segments of society. The second thing that I think this whole COVID, this pandemic and these testing times, they are telling us that Pakistan is quickly gearing up to enter in a digital arena. And that reminds me of our last year's Sustainable Development Conference, where the key theme was sustainable development in a digital arena. And we wanted to see that how prepared we are for this, the fourth industrial revolution and the digital world, what sort of challenges we face, and what is it that we need to get our house in order. And I think the way we are conducting this meeting through this digital technology, the way we are running our offices through working from home, and the way we are trying to teach our students through our digital classrooms, and not only higher education. I help my 9-year-old who is in grade 4 for his online classes. So I think all these things, they're enabling us to get ready for fourth industrial revolution. We missed this second and third industrial revolution. We couldn't avail those opportunities. But I think with this crisis, perhaps we'll be better prepared for the arena where we'll be working from remote distances. We will be managing these conferences online. We'll be doing these peer learning and the student-teacher contacts online, and perhaps we'll also be arranging the food deliveries and delivery of other essential commodities through drones. So not only that drone can be used in drone attacks to kill the targeted people. I think it's about time to see the positive side of digital technology. My only fear in all this is that how the world would look, or what sort of pandemic it would be if there is a digital virus. And the people of my age, they would know that we were quite scared of millennium bug when we were entering in year 2000, that this millennium bug, it would come and it would erase all essential data from all sort of computers. So I was just thinking that while we are so helpless in dealing with this health pandemic, if a few years down the road there is a digital virus pandemic, whether we are ready to face that sort of pandemic or not. So just food for thought, which perhaps has nothing to do with today's seminar. But of course, when we are talking of digital education, we also need of cybersecurity, especially how to conduct secure exams and how to conduct the secure marking and monitoring and evaluation system in the classroom. I'll stop here, and I look forward to learning from the experts. I'll have to leave at 4 p.m. for another meeting, which was somehow overlapping with this meeting, but I'll make a point to get the recording from Adnan and not to miss all the important points that the experts would be sharing here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abed, for sharing your thoughts and critical aspects of the fourth industrial revolution, digital connectivity, online examination systems, and also the challenges of quality of education. Of course, these are the challenges, and we'll try to address all these issues with the learned scholars. And obviously, the recording will be available with all of us, including all the panelists and those who would like to have access to this recording for future references or for future concerns. So, as Dr. Abad has mentioned, that we should not miss the opportunity to avail this fourth industrial revolution. So, my only concern is that if we have missed the second and third one, that would it be possible that we would be able to achieve the fourth industrial revolution's prospects? So that is the question from my side. So let's go with the sequence of this discussion. And as Dr. Afsha is already in a university which is distance education, distance learning university, and they have rich experiences not only in Pakistan but also as the university is operating in so many other countries. Dr. Afshama is having her PhD from Michigan State University in curriculum development, particularly in the field of education. She is heading the Center for Education Planning, Policy Studies, and Leadership. She is also having the experience of holding 5 international conferences on education. Uh, so, with this very brief introduction, so let me invite Dr. Afsha Hamad to share her thoughts that what sort of opportunities that we have regarding this distance education, and if there is any sort of challenges, what are those challenges that they are experiencing at this moment? So, over to Dr. Afsha Hamad.
Yes, Assalamualaikum. The broader question that you posed and Clarissa also posed in the beginning, and the specific question, both are very important. The first thing is that technological revolution is somehow a more of an opportunity for all developing countries, because you don't really need to think that if we were not able to be a part of the first three or any of the three, we cannot move on in the fourth. The fourth one is independent enough and brings so many opportunities with itself. As we just heard Clarissa as well saying that this is a low cost opportunity for all of us. So the developing countries find a better pathway here to enter the revolution in almost all fields of life, including education. Now, when I say this, I say this very hopefully and very positively. In past 3 to 4 years after doing my PhD, I have mainly been involved in different activities as well as my own learning in e-learning management and e-campus management and online learning management. Particularly in this moment, I was very hopeful that HSC in past few years has invested a lot in helping all the higher education institutions specifically to not only develop their infrastructure but also to help them and train their faculty and professionally develop their academic and non-academic staff to use the latest technologies in their teaching learning procedures as well as in the administration. Having all these scenarios in front of me when this social distancing and lockdown situation happened, we at Lama Iqbal Open University found ourselves in a big challenge. Our challenge was huge number of students. We have like 500,000 students enrolled in our programs across the country. So in the major challenge is inequitable access to online learning, because the programs which are more centralized or which are offered at our regional hubs, which is Lahore, Karachi, Islamabad, Peshawar, Quetta, they are centralized programs and they are being offered only through our regional campuses. Those could easily switch to the online mode and we could run them easily. But in the programs where we have a huge population coming from different rural areas of Pakistan, we could not confidently say that we can run these programs. There are two big reasons. One is accessibility, and the other is that in many of the parts of the country, students opt for Urdu medium of instruction, even at the postgraduate level, and Allama Iqbal Open University gives them this option. While when we had to do this in an emergency situation quickly, all we could make available online was the materials in English. That's what we produce at Allama Iqbal Open University, all our books at postgraduate level and at graduate level as well, undergraduate level as well. So we did not have a quick solution to this problem, and we did not have any solution to the accessibility problem, because that's at the user end. So these are the and they wanted us to provide them some help and support in developing their learning management system. We are using a learning management system in our postgraduate programs since past 6-7 years. So we were able to help them out. We were able to share our experiences as well as expertise with them, and we helped them to develop their LMS as well. Some of the institutions, as I said, HEC has already invested a lot. Some of the institutions had the LMS, but they were using it to a very minimum level. So we helped the local universities in better utilization of those resources. But sadly saying, many of the faculty members themselves were not ready. And we could see clearly that even having these facilities at their institutions, they had never ever used it. So they were very reluctant, or I would say they were anxious or being afraid of using these new technologies. So apart from student end, at the faculty end, this was seen as a big challenge to use online learning tools and everything. When we say online learning tools, there are so many ambiguities as well. Online learning tool is not simply putting up a PDF. It's not simply putting up a video. It is a combination of synchronous and asynchronous interaction with students. So that's a totally different mode of teaching and learning. So that itself becomes a new and novel thing for so many teachers in Pakistan. So that's mainly the scenario, and I will stop here if so that the discussion may go on, and then if there is further question, I will be happy to answer.
Thank you so much, Dr. Afsha, for your sharing your thoughts and the pros and cons of the distance education that at the moment Allama Iqbal Open University is practicing. So you have raised some key questions that so there is challenges of rural areas. The majority of the students are from the rural areas, and there is a challenges of digital connectivity, and then Urdu medium instruction is one of another challenge that the students are facing. Then huge range of programs for school education, for college education, and for university education. So these are the challenges that at the moment Allama Iqbal Open University is facing. Although our concern is more for the higher education at the moment, and we'll be having some program for the school and college education. But right now we are discussing this university education program. And you have also mentioned that learning management system is already there, and you are actually practicing. So we'll come up again with the second round that what sort of perceptions are there from the development sector and those who are working in the development and UN systems. For that purpose, we have Mr. Ehsanullah from UNESCO. He is with us. He has the expertise in education, and at the moment he's focusing the monitoring and evaluation programs at UNESCO. And UNESCO is mainly focusing on the culture and the education. Education perhaps is the key. So as Dr. Akshay, you have mentioned that so there are challenges of this education, and I would put one question to Mr. Ehsanullah, that what could be the options for potential collaboration for the governments and the academic institutions and the development partners like UNESCO, UN, and other NGOs and INGOs, those who are working to promote the quality of education, and what sort of innovative solutions that we are looking for in the presence of this technological advancement. So with this question, I will now request to Mr. Ehsanullah to share his thoughts.
Thank you very much for inviting us, and this is a very good opportunity to share and listen different stakeholders. Basically, as you all know, that COVID pandemic affected a lot of population around the world, and particularly in Pakistan. So we already have a burden of more than 23 million out of school children. But with this, basically, the children who are in school, who are nearly 42 million, are also being affected. So situation basically will magnify and further the vulnerability at the different level, particularly the weak segment of the community or those who are living in the villages or like rural areas. So different approaches are being used internationally and nationally to how to look into this issue, because there are different challenges. One, how to continue the education, at the same time how to protect the children, and then the another challenge when this situation will be ended, then how to make sure that the children are coming back to schools, particularly those families who are affected through different economic situation. So renewed resources or efforts will be required to bring those children, and they are at the risk of the dropout. So this spillover effect of the economic recession due to COVID-19 magnify actually, and it will be further high at the rural level, and then we have to address different inequities such as gender and socioeconomic activity. So and girls are also like will be facing more barrier to access the education. So in this situation, actually, the important consideration should be that we should adopt the equity approach and work together to mobilize the resources and ensure that everybody participate in the response and benefit. So the response could be strategized like immediate response, then medium, long term, and then recovery in intervention. So some of the short-term policy mitigation measures which could be taken are basically the targeted distance learning program, especially for most vulnerable children, as mentioned in the earlier presentation, that the outreach to the rural and then those areas where there is the issue of electricity or other connectivity, so that they will be facing those issues. So special distance learning program need to be initiated for vulnerable to use multiple media solutions such as TV, radio, SMS, online, and then reopening of schools and screening of the children, including special measure of those facilities which are used as a isolation center. So, and disinfection of those schools or facilities which are being used for different purposes. So these are some of the, and if we need to consider the mid and the long-term measures, so that could be strengthen and expand the accelerated and alternative learning program, which is already there, but the scale need to be highlighted or and then further increase so that more people get the access, and introduce some skill-based learning program to help those families which are affected due to economic condition. And in the policy development and monitoring perspective, there is a need to increase the learning, the distance learning policies and initiatives at federal and provincial level, especially at the primary and secondary level. So that need to be taken, because we are good somehow at the university and the higher education level, but a lot need to be done at the primary and secondary level, and then expand the
Sarun Sahab, if I may interrupt you and just ask one more question, if you get response to that question as well. That at the moment, I think 23 million students are out of schools. And you mentioned that around 42, 43 million students are in the schools. So how we can engage these out of schools children, those who were already out of schools? Now there is a big challenge that we have almost all the students, those who are out of schools. How would you respond these out of school children, which is 23 million, and they have particular this challenge of COVID-19 challenge is also there for those students as well. If you can add on this, please.
Yeah, so the different steps are being taken at different level. Like if I give you example of the global level, so UNESCO launched a global education coalition to support country scale up the best practices of learning and reaching the children. So the coalition basically mainly worked to mobilize the resources, implement innovative approaches, and then particularly taking care of the local solution. Then like see the equitable solution. So if you see at the Pakistan level, like recently the Punjab, other provinces, and particularly the federal government have taken initiative, like they have started the tele schools, which is taking care of education of different grades, like starting from grade first to the last grade. But then we need to connect it. Like if these classes or content or lectures are being delivered through the television program, then we need how to connect it basically with different. They need different collaborations. Like if somebody is working in different provinces or district, so that need to be connected, like different level at district planning and then provincial level and all others. So uh, we have like very good resources, like if you see that the Ministry of Federal Education and Professional Training, they are leading it, and then they are also trying to have some sort of good collaboration at interministerial education conference. And then so the major step taken by the country, and then like they have a good steps, such as like they have started this uh, uh, education teaching and other classes in the national TV. Now, like what we are listening from different part of the country, like now we have to see that what need to be done to promote the children, then what need to be done, that how to connect the children with different needs, like if they don't have the books arrived at their doorstep and they need some guidance. So that disconnect with the technology. And also, so I think the government has given a good direction, and now there is a need of collaboration at different level, UN, the government, and the university. And so we have a very good example from like different university who are doing this distance learning through online and different other medium. But we need to see that how the situation unfold, because it need clarity at different level. So there are different questions that are we providing some material, or are the children able to continue the education only through the television program, or are there other things? So we have some good resources which being shared by the Ministry of Education, such as like Sabak Foundation, and then we have the Talim, and then online campuses or other platforms are available. But the scale is very high. We have already a burden of 23 million out of school, and then we have uh, those children who are in the school, but still, like due to this situation, they cannot continue. So the private sector has taken some good initiative. They are doing those education through online system like Google Classes or other solution they are doing. But the major chunk is in the public schools, and we have to see that how it goes. So the best way is to support the government initiative and then link it with the different projects which are already on the ground. So like for example, if UNESCO is working in 18 districts of different part of the Pakistan, so we will be supporting in those districts. If UNICEF or other agency working in the education, so they will be providing their support in the respective areas. So the main agenda is to support the continuation of education and then resumption as early as possible.
Thank you so much, Sanullah Sab, for this very thought-provoking and very informative discussion and sharing the points. So, of course, these are the challenges that we are facing, and of course, these challenges have been raised up. Let's have our next panelist. She is working as research associate with STPI on education as well. And currently, she is also doing her MPhil in public policy from the Pied University. So, Rabia Tabassum, we would like to know that being students, what do you think that what sort of challenges that you are facing now after COVID-19, and how these challenges can be managed within the available resources that we have, being a limited, being a third world country or being a developing country. So, in spite of all these resources, what is being done and what can be further improved. So, so would you like to share your thoughts,
Yeah,
Rabia Gupta?
definitely. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I will be starting here with major issues being faced by the students after COVID-19. What I saw, am I audible to everyone?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
very much
great,
audible.
great. Okay. What I saw is the lack of preparedness on university side as well as on student side, as earlier mentioned by Dr. Afshan. And there was also unacceptance on student side, as in previous months there was a Twitter trend against online classes, particularly that was mainly due to the poor internet connection. Again, this is the issue of large digital divide in Pakistan, largely due to the high incidence of poverty that exists in country and infrastructure constraints, that is the access to ICT goods and infrastructure. Another issue that is observed is the issue of access to internet and smart devices in rural areas and to the poor segment of the society who can't afford to buy the internet packages or smart devices easily. Additionally, sometimes teachers are also not well equipped or well prepared to deliver the online lectures. So there is capacity constraint that universities or higher education commission need to address. Um, and emerging psychological challenges are also there that emerge after the pandemic situation, that hampering the students' focus. Um, uh, and delivering online lectures of subjects where practical is required, particularly in case of natural sciences, where home online virtual classes are not successful, is another issue that we need to address or need to think about this. And this issue also exists in social sciences, where field visits are required for the students to practice in hand, but their teachers need to be sensitized to use the non-conventional tools, use technology to supplement the traditional ways of field research. And this can also be taken as an opportunity, as the new job market is heavily technology oriented, and getting familiar with the technological innovation, that would be another way to get students more suitable for the job market in the field. And definitely we should talk about the alternate plans in case a university closure gets further extended. Then it is expected that is it's in June. In case of extended lockdown from June onwards, we should think about what will be the mode of exams to ensure effective transition of students from one level to another level. Like mentioned earlier by Dr. Abid in his opening remarks, we also need to think about the cybersecurity in that case as well. So all the requirements in terms of infrastructural availability, particularly making smartphones, laptops, or internet devices available to the marginalized students, would require definitely financial and technical support to the government to make it feasible and successful. For me, I can say this would be an opportunity for the universities to establish a crisis responsive system that will definitely support any kind of emergency situation in future. And another plus point it would be if we are successfully able to promote the virtual learning platforms in Pakistan. So it will be another way to reach a larger proportion of population to pursue this our sustainable development goal 4, that say to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning for all. And I think here we need to see and think the potential of TV, radio, and other offline mode of communication, like in the form of CDs or DVDs, I think in case of school education, it already has started, but I guess in case of universities, we should also think this mode as well. So these were the some points or some points that I've shared. I observed being a student and obviously being a education professional working at STPI as a research associate. So I will end my conversation here by saying that in order to ensure the quality remote education in this pandemic situation, we need to focus vulnerable students, particularly vulnerable students with equipment and connectivity. Um, we can offer them internet packages, free internet packages, or even we can offer them scholarship for those students who can't afford smart devices or laptops, so they can easily get access to these devices and equipment, so they can start their education effectively within 1 or 2 months. That's, I guess, HEC time period for the universities to establish their LMS and start their online education. And secondly, to improve financing of digital curriculum and material. Definitely, we need financing to establish our curriculum for that as well. And last but not the least, we need to improve the remote teaching skills of for the universities, so that they can be able to deliver the education online for all the students. And that's it from my side.
Thank you so much, Rabia, for your thoughts and for sharing the genuine concern from the students community. So, although almost all the developing countries have limited resources and perhaps this challenge will remain there. You mentioned that the one of the key point is that so the natural sciences versus social sciences concerns. Of course, the social sciences is more theoretical, whereas the natural sciences required more practical work. And at the moment, so these students of pure sciences would be suffering more as compared to the students who are dealing with the social sciences. So, of course, the visual learning options are there. We have just seen some of the questions from the audience, that the role of telecom sector, how the telecom sector can contribute and play its role at the moment. So these are the thoughts for all the panelists, and we'll be having the second round. And some of the queries were there that so the key challenge is taking the classes or classroom very seriously at this moment, because for the past few weeks we were not taking it seriously. Now almost everybody is considering this fact that the situation might go longer, and then it may affect everything including the education. For that, so perhaps the quality is the thing which will definitely be suffering from all these challenges. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me say that very soon Dr. Nadia will be joining us from Higher Education Commission. She is heading the Quality Assurance Agency and will be putting these questions to her. In addition to her, Dr.
She's already here, and you can invite her to speak now.
Okay, just a minute. So thank you so much, Dr. Nadia. Welcome to this online discussion. We will be having Dr. Babar Shehbaz, who is the Associate Professor at the Arid Agriculture University, and today he has written an excellent article on the current educational scenario and situation. So he will also be with us around 4 o'clock. So as Dr. Nadia is here, Dr. Nadia, so we would like to, I'm sorry that you might have missed some of the key questions that has been raised during this discussion. Let me very briefly share that Dr. Abid has raised the concern of we are now in the fourth industrial revolution. We have already missed the second and third industrial revolution. How we can cope up with the fourth industrial revolution? So the health pandemic concerns are there, cyber security concerns are there, quality of education concerns are there. So transparency is another area for the education, how we can ensure the quality of the exams, and how we'll be able to marking up to the standards and the requirement of the students which they deserve. So these are the challenges. Dr. Afsha Huma, she is from Allama Iqbal Open University. She has raised that what sort of opportunities that we have on this distance education. What are the practices of the Allama Iqbal Open University, one of the largest university for distance education, and what are the barrier and what are the challenges? How we can address those challenges? So we have also Mr. Asanullah from UNESCO. He's a auditing and evaluation expert, particularly from the education sector, and he has shared the students concerned, the children concerned, those who are out of schools and those who are already in schools and now having such kind of challenges. So with this very brief background, so we would like to know what sort of challenges that quality assurance agency is facing prior to this COVID-19, and what additional challenges that you are facing now, where the this epidemic is there, the health concerns are there, the social distancing is there, how to ensure the quality of education. So over to Dr. Nadia.
Thank you, Shahid and SDPI, for inviting me. The first part of the question, which is relatively easy, that what type of the challenges quality assurance agency is facing before COVID-19. We in Higher Education Commission emphasized access, and we have achieved some success in access of traditional education, and from merely 200,000 people, we have now 1.6 million people been included in higher education. The second challenge was giving quality education. And the paradigm which we followed at HEC was that systems has to be in place, and university is the lead or the main stakeholder in disseminating knowledge. So through the quality enhancement cells, they are the guards of disseminating quality education, and continuous improvement in quality standards is actually the mandate responsibility of the university. And a higher education commission played a role where they have, through monitoring, through persuasions, through moral appeals, asking universities that they should allow us for having their audits. And in these audits, at the program level, we halted less than 20% of the programs when they don't even have the bare minimum, which is the faculty. So the quality approach is quite passive in the sense that it only emphasized if university has PhD teachers available in the university, we assumed at the HEC that yes, they are disseminating key knowledge. So this approach is understandable as well with higher education's policies that we were promoting PhDs in Pakistan and we want PhDs at the universities. Quality was never been in demand, neither from the students nor from the faculty, and the regulator is also involved in disseminating or giving the access to the education, and the main challenge is access to the higher education. Now, the COVID situation, it has put higher education into the forefront of the quality frontier. And now we have to address that access is the key, as many authors been writing nowadays, that quality infrastructure, connectivity at higher education institutions, and availability of the internet facilities at the doorstep of the students and the faculty is the key. So access again is the challenge, and we have to provide connectivity to all the students. Secondly, another challenge which the world has already addressed to a certain extent, that they have adopted various educational techniques and forums and forums available where teacher can virtually teach the students. And the traditional role of teacher has, if not minimized, has been given strength with latest technology forums. Like now, students can interact with the teachers through the social networks, through the forums where they can debate, discuss, promote critical thinking, flip classroom technology, action learning, simulation-based teaching. These things world has already adopted. And as you said that the fourth industrial revolution we are about to miss, I think that this is not an industrial revolution. This is actually 5G and the giga economy and now the IT revolution in the true sense. And now, if we are not joining this digital world, we can't think about the future of the work. We can't think about connecting with the people, and it is going to change our ways of thinking, ways of doing work. And now the challenge would be what type of work and how we defining the work. Now the debate is not bringing the informal people into the formal organizations, but the debate is that how this informality can be benefited. And we have to prepare students not only for teaching and learning purposes, but for this type of digital revolution which is there and in which they have to work from the home. And we now need the deep learners. Critical thinking is the essence which we require. So in this scenario, Higher Education Commission has to take the quality issue upfront. This is the first time in Pakistan where students in Pakistan are demanding the quality education. They've been protesting that now we should be given the quality, and from quality they mean connectivity of IT services. Quality of IT services they've been asking for in the first beginning. But now the challenge would be for the teacher as well, that how to satisfy the increasing demand for the quality which the students are asking for the teacher. And the traditional role of the teacher is also has been changed to a great deal. Now the third part of the question, that how HEC is dealing. The very first day when we have heard about this COVID-19 spread in China, our chairman HEC has guided us that we should prepare a system of monitoring and evaluation of teaching and learning in Pakistan through digital usage. And when we are using digitally these mechanisms, so there are 3 or 4 key challenges. It is not only that the connectivity. Our survey has shown, we did survey at HEC 1 year back, in which almost out of 206 universities have said that 183 universities has responded and said that they have LMS available, learning management system available, but they have never operationalized. Then in the past, we have stopped certain universities that they cannot operate or disseminate knowledge through virtual forums. And there were certain reasons for doing that. And universities were disseminating low quality education. So now preparedness, that how to use technology, connectivity, and the mindset that yes, how innovatively we can use this forum which available for a comprehensive learning experience. Through the worldwide surveys, the skill understanding of online education is lesser than traditional face-to-face learning mode. So there is no question. And the challenge for the Higher Education Commission, not only in Pakistan, throughout the world, is that how to make it a more comprehensive, accomplished, complete experience. And in this challenge, Quality Assurance Agency is working on the quality of the content. This is for the first time we've been directly asking universities that are their courses and contents are online ready. If they are online ready means that they have LMS, they have connectivity issues resolved. They're mostly their students been connected through this technology, and they have the laptops available, they have infrastructure available, they can be accessed through these technology forums. And the second part is what we are teaching in our classes and how we are teaching in our classes. And this time, Chairman HEC, through its guideline number 5, have given the direct responsibility not to the Director Quality Enhancement Cell, but to the Vice Chancellor of the university. That Vice Chancellor of the university has the key role to play, and they have to certify that the courses are of a certain quality. And the content is of certain level which can be teach at the certain class. So content availability is
Dr. Nadia,
the one.
if you may allow me to put one relevant question, and that question is that you have mentioned that so many PhDs are there in the universities and we are demanding more PhDs, but all those PhDs have been trained in a traditional system, not the distance or the long distance education system. So how you would engage those teachers, those who have been trained in the traditional mechanism, they will be able to deliver through the distance learning quality education. This is the concern. Sorry, this is my concern, that what HEC is planning to deal with this particular issue. Although the challenges of connectivity and other equipment is there, but let's suppose if those challenges have been addressed, how these teachers would be able to educate in distance education format. So and the behavior is one of the key challenge with the students, with the teachers, and with everyone in the system. So please, if you can elaborate along with you.
Yes, Shahid, you are rightly said that it is actually the challenge is that teacher has to be trained. The capacity building of the teacher, that they need to know that how to use this technology so they can disseminate properly in their classes. And now the classroom is not the physical classroom, but it's a virtual classroom where your students may be sitting in a distinct remote area where they don't have the infrastructure available properly, and how to reach to that student. So now the teacher has to reach out to these students, and for this there is a need for the training, capacity building of these teachers, and we have to prepare them and we have to equip them. And through NAHI, we have Rector NAHI available, and she's been planning that how to prepare our teachers for these types of teachings. And secondly, with the behavior side, I don't think that there is a behavioral issue. People are willing, but they have no confidence over this technology. And almost 90% of the universities have shown their willingness that yes, they are willing to disseminate through online education. It is the students who are saying that we are not satisfied. It is regulator HEC which is saying that we won't allow all those programs who are not of the certain quality to run. So with this behavior that yes, we can do this and we can take this challenge up front, I think there is no second thought in my mind that we cannot overcome this challenge. But what I can say for the LMS thing, and for the behavior thing, that adaptability, it will take certain time. It's now less than 3 weeks that universities have started preparing, and we have given them time that in next 3 weeks they can prepare their LMS, learning management systems. They can register all the students, they can register all their teachers, they can register all the content which is available. So whatever they are doing in this window of 3 to 4 weeks, and from 31st May onward, we think that if this situation prevails, if for God forbid we have to continue teaching education in this virtual mode, so our universities would be ready. And I'm not saying 100% ready. Those who think confidently that they can disseminate knowledge through this mode of technology, we would allow them to continue. And those who have to prepare themselves for this challenge and they would like to have certain time, we are willing to give them more time to accept this challenge and to be ready for this.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Nadia, that you have raised and shared all these thoughts about the behavior. Luckily, we have Dr. Afshan, who has done her master's in psychology, and she has also done his PhD in curriculum development. So these are the two concerns that at the moment we'll be facing. So those teachers who have been trained in the traditional mode, how they'll be able to transform and deliver and change their curriculum into the distance learning mode, and what sort of a behavior that Dr. Nadia has already shared with us, that the students' behaviors are more reluctant or aggressive in terms of accepting this. Dr. Afsha, would you like to say something on this? And then we'll go to the next speaker, and probably the last speaker. And before that, if I may request Adman, Mr. Adnan, if you can take Dr. Shiraz on board. Yeah, please.
Ji, Assalamualaikum again. The very first thing is that once we are going into an online learning mode, which is a virtual learning mode, the first thing we did was, and we have done with this with our own courses as well, students, when they are not in a classroom, we suppose that they will be they'll be continuing the learning process on their self discipline, which is a huge assumption. This does not happen anywhere in the world. I have not even seen this happening at the doctoral level studies. When you leave them on their own, and Allama Iqbal Open University has a huge experience of using radio, TV, as well as the web TV, as well as the LMS and all these facilities. What you have to do is to schedule the online activities just as you schedule your classroom activities. What we did is, if you know the system of AIOU, we have 2 assignments in one semester, for instance. So what we decided is that instead of having 2 assignments, we will have a weekly activity designed for this semester. So students are not left on their own for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. They are in continuous interaction with their teachers, and at the end of each week, they have to submit their activity report or their assignment question or anything like that, which will ensure that they are with us in this process. For this purpose, there are 2 very important things that you identified. Number 1, the teacher's own behavior. Number 2, the teacher's own preparedness. I would not say readiness. As Nadia was saying, yes, they are ready. Yes, they are willing, but they're not prepared. When I told even my own faculty members to divide their course into such elements that students have to do that every week, and we are making sure that they are doing this every week. This was even a challenge for my teachers who have not been using LMS. For those who have been using LMS for past 3-4 years at MPhil and PhD level, it was not a big challenge. So I would not blame the teachers as well, because they've never done it before, so they didn't know how to make use of an LMS effectively, keeping the motivation and morale high of the student as well. I as a social psychologist, I would say that this is a totally unique social experience for human beings as well. So when we say teachers, when we say students, let's not forget that they are a part of this whole social scenario as well. So they, being less motivated, having a low morale is very natural. But what we have to do is to adopt a system approach at the institutions, and we call it programmed instructional techniques. So programmed instructional techniques even calculate the minutes activity as well, how much time a student will have to stay on screen to fulfill this activity or to fulfill this assignment. So this is the approach that we need to adopt, but all universities and all faculties are ready for that or prepared for that? I do not agree. Very few universities are, and very few faculty members are prepared for this. So this is a challenge. What we miss is that in past 5 to 7 years, I would say, we, including my university and many other universities, were a part of a huge program through HSC who were using the LMS and who were being trained to use the LMS. I think at this point of time, we should realize that their capacities should be utilized as master trainers or something, so that if I am here in Islamabad at Allama Iqbal Open University, the surrounding universities who are not a part of that program or project should be connected to my university. Gujarat University was a part of it, so the surrounding universities should be connected to them, not for developing the curriculum, but for developing the online learning tools. So as I used two terms before as well, I would repeat that neither synchronous nor asynchronous will suffice the requirement. We will have to have both. We need to have the materials which students can access anytime whenever they want to, and we need to have face-to-face interaction in one way or the other when the students and teachers both are there online, so that they have a feel of classroom as well.
Thank you so much, Dr. Afsha. And I think we have wonderful discussion, but this discussion may continue for a few more minutes. While the Dr. Babar Shehbaz will be online within few minutes, let me take this opportunity to take first round of questions from the audience, because there are so many participants, those who are keen to have uh, these questions, and because everybody has their concern, because their kids are in schools, colleges, and universities. So although I have some questions regarding QEC, but I will ask my question at the end with to Dr. Nadia. Let's open this floor for question,
Dr.
and
Babar
if
is
I may
online.
request. Sorry.
Dr. Babar is online. He may be invited to
Okay.
speak now.
So excellent. We welcome Dr. Babar online. He's there. He was just delivering his lecture to the students. So thank you, Dr. Saab, for being with us. Very briefly, let me share that we have Dr. Nadia Taher from Higher Education Commission, Quality Assurance Agency, Dr. Afsha Huma from the Educational Planning, Management and Policy Leadership Program from Allama Iqbal Open University. We have Mr. Ahsanullah from UNESCO. He is the educational expert. We have Ms. Rabat Bassam. She's the student and associate research associate at STPI. We have so many other participants, those who are keen to know. So, sir, we have learned that today you have written a wonderful and very relevant article on this educational concern. Would you like to share the very brief crux of that, and also share your thoughts that how we can deal with the challenges that we are facing in this COVID-19 concern, in this era of digitalization, how we can face these challenges and what we need to do. So over to Dr. Babar Shehbaz.
So first of all, sorry for late coming. I was in a class. So I will quickly share some of my experiences, what challenges we are having while conducting the online classes. Because I teach in an agriculture university, and it is rather some different setup from other universities. Our teachers have to teach the practical oriented courses. The main concern is for the student is that they cannot understand the practical type of activities. We can टीचर कैन एक्सप्लेन देम द थ्योरेटिकल पोर्शन, लेकिन जब हम प्रैक्टिकल की बात करते हैं तो इट इज रादर चैलेंजिंग, particularly if we have to teach them about the handling of the equipment or and similar other things. And secondly, we are having the challenges regarding the postgraduate students who are doing their research in their laboratories. So this lockdown has affected their research. It is again quite challenging to for undergraduate student we can handle them, but for postgraduate MSc and PhD student, they are at the very critical stage of, because in most of the university it is the final semester after which the student have to submit their thesis, but this has remained a challenge. So, and in, for example, in our university, we have the, by default, majority of our students are from the rural areas. They belongs to, we have the quota system. The rural population, they get, they send their student according to their population. Each district have their quota. So most of the students are from the rural areas, and most of the students are from the marginalized backward areas, where there is more population, they will send more students. So their main problem regarding online education is connectivity issues, internet connectivity, और जो internet package है वो costly है. WhatsApp पे everybody is on the WhatsApp because it has very cheaper package. उस पे आप आ जाते हैं स्टूडेंट, लेकिन जब हम उनको LMS पे लेके जाते हैं तो इट रिक्वायर्स लॉट ऑफ डाटा, या इवन अगर हम उन्हें जूम मीटिंग क्लासरूम पे या गूगल क्लासरूम पे भी लेके आते हैं तो मैनी स्टूडेंट दे कैन नॉट अफोर्ड. तो इसमें जो सोशल जस्टिस का एलिमेंट है कि हम अगर कुछ स्टूडेंट्स को एजुकेट कर रहे हैं, दे रहे हैं थ्रू ऑनलाइन सिस्टम, लेकिन जो स्टूडेंट उसको अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते, जिनके पास गैजेट्स नहीं है, स्मार्टफोन नहीं है या लैपटॉप नहीं है, या जो इंटरनेट पैकेज अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते, उसमें जो है वो दिस एलिमेंट इज वेरी क्रूशियल व्हेन वी आर डीलिंग विद दी ऑनलाइन क्लासेस. सो दिस इज द एलिमेंट ऑफ सोशल जस्टिस, क्योंकि जो इंटरनेट है वो स्टिल इट इज लग्जरी फॉर मैनी हाउस होल्ड, पर्टिकुलरली फॉर द लोअर क्लास एंड लोअर मिडिल क्लास फैमिलीज. तो इसमें जो है वो हमने देखा है कि पिछले तकरीबन एक वीक में सोशल मीडिया पे काफी ह्यू एंड क्राई भी रहा है. HEC इज प्रेसिंग हार्ड शिफ्ट टुवर्ड्स ऑनलाइन सिस्टम. फैकल्टी मेंबर जो है वो काफी सारे ऑनलाइन क्लासेस ले रहे हैं, लेकिन स्टिल देयर आर मैनी स्टूडेंट जिनको जो कि इस सिस्टम से एक्सक्लूड है. उनको इंक्लूड करने के लिए हमें कोई ना कोई पैकेज देना होगा. और सेकेंडली है कि अगर हम ऑनलाइन सिस्टम फॉर एग्जांपल जो LMS लर्निंग मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम है उसको अगर हम मोबाइल फ्रेंडली वर्जन, और देन if HEC or relevant ministry they can negotiate with the mobile companies to offer this free of cost या with minimum charges, जिस तरह से WhatsApp या Facebook के स्पेशल बंडल्स हैं और वो 50 रुपए हो पूरा महीना वो चलता है. इसी तरह से जो लर्निंग मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम, इसी तरह का कोई मोबाइल फ्रेंडली वर्जन जिस पे स्टूडेंट आ सके. तो जो स्टूडेंट बैकवर्ड एरियाज में है, जिनके लिए इंटरनेट जो है वो एक्सेसिबिलिटी चैलेंज है, उनके लिए ये इट विल बी अ गुड अपॉर्चुनिटी. और उसके साथ जो है वो नॉट एवरी टीचर इज प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर द ऑनलाइन, क्योंकि इट वाज सडन, ये अचानक आ गया जो ऑनलाइन सिस्टम, तो हर कोई इसमें प्रिपेयर नहीं है। कुछ यूनिवर्सिटीज ने ट्रेनिंग भी ऑर्गेनाइज की है इसको ऑनलाइन सिस्टम पे लाने के लिए, बट स्टिल देयर आर मैनी चैलेंजेस इन दिस रिगार्ड। तो इसमें जब हम बाद में फर्दर डिस्कशन चलेगी तो फर्दर इसमें फिर हम ऐड करेंगे। तो
डॉक्टर साहब, इसमें
फॉर द
मेरा
टाइम बीइंग
एक और
दीज आर सम
क्वेश्चन
ऑफ
है।
माय परमिशंस।
डॉक्टर बाबर, एक और क्वेश्चन जो आप शायद ज्यादा बेहतर तरीके से उसको एड्रेस कर सकते हैं, एंड द क्वेश्चन इज दैट you are dealing with the pure sciences or the practical sciences, ठीक है ना? तो आपके ख्याल में ये चूंकि theoretical वर्क नहीं है, इसको
जी
ऑनलाइन कराने में क्या क्वालिटी कॉम्प्रोमाइज होगी स्टूडेंट्स की या नहीं? और अगर क्वालिटी कॉम्प्रोमाइज होगी तो किस हद तक? और जो हमारी जो ब्रीड हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी से फारग होगी तो उनकी अपनी कॉम्पिटेंसीज क्या होगी और उनकी मार्केट वैल्यू क्या होगी? और दूसरा जो क्वेश्चन है, मे बी डॉक्टर नादिया बाद में एड्रेस कर सके, और जो अगर आप भी इसको कर सकें, अभी हमारे पास 16 लाख जो यूनिवर्सिटी स्टूडेंट्स हैं, अगर वो सारे के सारे ऑनलाइन चले जाएं और 60,000 के करीब हमारे टीचर्स हैं जो यूनिवर्सिटी टीचर्स, अगर वो सारे ऑनलाइन चले जाएं तो क्या हमारा सिस्टम कोप अप कर सकेगा इतने लोगों को ऑनलाइन लेके और क्वालिटी एजुकेशन देने के लिए? क्या सिस्टम की इतनी कैपेसिटी है?
जी, इसमें बिल्कुल आपने बिल्कुल ठीक बात की है। जो अप्लाइड साइंस के सब्जेक्ट्स हैं, जैसे एग्रीकल्चर है, मेडिकल है, वेटनरी साइंस है, वो ऑनलाइन ले जाने में हमें क्वालिटी कंप्रोमाइज करनी पड़ेगी, क्योंकि जो थ्योरेटिकल पोर्शन है मे भी वो 20% 30% थ्योरेटिकल पोर्शन है, लेकिन उसको कंप्लीमेंट करना पड़ता है प्रैक्टिकल डिमॉन्स्ट्रेशन के साथ। तो प्रैक्टिकल डिमॉन्स्ट्रेशन जो है वो ऑनलाइन इज ऑलवेज अ चैलेंज। उसको हम उस तरह से नहीं कर सकते जिस तरह से हम फेस टू फेस या फिजिकल क्लासरूम में करते हैं। और सेकेंडली ये है कि इसमें जब हम स्टूडेंट्स को अगर कोई लैब में एक्सपेरिमेंट करवा रहे हैं या फील्ड में उनको डिमॉन्स्ट्रेशन कर रहे हैं, तो स्टूडेंट हैव टू वर्क विद इक्विपमेंट, विद द इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स, विद द फील्ड जो उसमें गैजेट्स हैं, तो वो भी हम ऑनलाइन जाहिर है उसको उस तरह से नहीं कर सकते। उसमें क्वालिटी डेफिनेटली उस पर कॉम्प्रोमाइज होगी अगर हम कहते हैं जी हमने टोटली ऑनलाइन लेके जाना है। तो कुछ सब्जेक्ट्स के लिए तो ये पॉसिबल है, जो आर्ट्स के सब्जेक्ट हैं या इस तरह के दूसरे हैं, लेकिन जो प्रैक्टिकल नेचर के सब्जेक्ट्स हैं उसमें ये देयर विल बी अ ह्यूज compromise ऑन द क्वालिटी। और दूसरा पार्ट क्या था आपका सवाल का?
दूसरा यही था कि जो 16 लाख स्टूडेंट्स अगर सारे ऑनलाइन हो जाएं और जो 60,000 टीचर हैं जब ऑनलाइन हो जाएंगे तो क्या हमारा सिस्टम उसको कोप अप कर सकेगा या नहीं कर सकेगा? आई
जी
थिंक
बिल्कुल। मैं आज सुबह भी मैंने क्लास ली है तकरीबन 10 बजे, उस टाइम भी जूम पे। तो ज्यादातर स्टूडेंट जो है वो यही कह रहे थे कि सर आप टाइम उसका चेंज करें, क्योंकि हमें तो कहा गया कि यूनिवर्सिटी के टाइम टेबल के मुताबिक क्लासेस लेनी है, लेकिन स्टूडेंट कहते हैं कि इस टाइम जो है वो बहुत स्लो इंटरनेट, हमें आप आवाज नहीं क्लियर आ रही। अब जाहिर है कि जब सारे स्टूडेंट इस पे आएंगे तो इट विल बी अ ह्यूज जो बर्डन या उसकी जो इंटरनेट की स्पीड है वो बहुत ज्यादा अफेक्ट होगी। या जो जो ऐप हम यूज कर रहे हैं, चाहे वो LMS है या जूम है, उस पर भी बहुत ज्यादा जब लोड आएगा, तो इसके लिए भी सोचने की जरूरत है।
थैंक यू सो मच डॉक्टर साहब, आपका बहुत शुक्रिया, आपने हमें बड़ा क्रक्स जो है हमारे से शेयर किया। सो वी हैव नाउ डॉक्टर नादिया ऑनलाइन, डॉक्टर बाबर शहबाज, डॉक्टर अफशा हुमा, और शायद एहसानुल्लाह साहब को कहीं एक और कमिटमेंट से उनको जाना पड़ा, बट एनीवे उनके रेलिवेंट जो कोई क्वेश्चन है वो भी हम लेते हैं। सो द फ्लोर इज ओपन फॉर द डिस्कशन एंड क्वेश्चंस, and if I may request to the participants, if they could be very specific to the point कि उनका क्वेश्चन क्या है, कंसर्न है और किसके साथ है, ताकि हम ज्यादा से ज्यादा क्वेश्चन इनटेक कर सकें। सो डॉक्टर ख्वाजा से हम आगाज करते हैं। डॉक्टर ख्वाजा साहब, महमूद ख्वाजा साहब।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम, कैन यू हेयर मी? हेलो
डॉक्टर जी, बिल्कुल आपकी आवाज आ रही है डॉक्टर
हाँ
साहब।
जी, हाँ जी, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया शाहिद, एंड वंडरफुल ऑलरेडी वी हैव ए प्रील्यूड। मेरे दो बड़े स्पेसिफिक क्वेश्चंस हैं टू द पैनलिस्ट। देखिए, डीप डाउन द होल प्रॉब्लम्स इज इन वन वर्ड एट द मोमेंट, एंड दैट इज कनेक्टिविटी। तो ये है कि कनेक्टिविटी कहना आसान है, हासिल करना बहुत मुश्किल है विद 2-3 मिलियन पीपल। तो ये है कि जैसे कहा जाता है कि अब तक तो यही था कि जो प्यासे थे वो कुएं के पास आ रहे थे। The students were coming to the institutions. Now what we are trying is वी आर टेकिंग इंस्टीट्यूशंस टू द स्टूडेंट, हम अपने को प्यासों के पास लेकर जा रहे हैं. Now this is going to be a huge investment of resources and time and other things. Now the alternative is, let we continue with thirsty coming to the well. कि जिन्होंने जो पहले तरीक़ाकार था, लेकिन जरूरत किस बात की है? जरूरत इस बात की है कि उनको हेल्थ सिक्योरिटी प्रोवाइड की जाए, हेल्थ सेफ्टी प्रोवाइड की जाए. तो मेरा ख्याल है ये दोनों ऑप्शन जो हैं इनको देख लेना चाहिए और फिर देखें कि इनमें से कौन सा ज्यादा मुनासिब है और ये जितना जल्दी हो सके. मेरा दूसरा क्वेश्चन जो है वो साइंस सब्जेक्ट्स के हवाले से है, बायोलॉजिकल साइंसेस, फिजिकल, अर्थ, जियोलॉजिकल साइंसेस. देखिए नॉन साइंस जो सब्जेक्ट्स हैं उसमें तो इट्स ओके, even through distant learning you can meet all the requirements. लेकिन science subjects में the laboratory work, the experimental work is part of the curriculum, rather the essential part of the curriculum. अगर आप मुझसे एज ए रिसर्चर पूछते तो मैं कहूँगा मोर इम्पोर्टेंट पार्ट. अच्छा, ये लेबॉर्ट्री वर्क आपने एफएससी वालों को भी देना है, बीएससी को भी देना है, स्कूलों में भी देना है. और बहुत ज्यादा इस लेबॉर्ट्रीज की उन रिसर्चर्स के लिए जरूरत होगी जो कि पीएचडी कर रहे हैं, एमफिल कर रहे हैं, बगैर लेबॉर्ट्री के व्हाट दे आर गोइंग टू डू. तो ये एक बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है, इसके ऊपर भी आप देखें और इसको हल किया जा सकता है. आप रिसर्च की जो अप्रोचेस हैं उसको चेंज कर सकते हैं. जरूरी नहीं कि लेबॉर्ट्री बेस्ड रिसर्च हो, और तरीकों से भी हो सकती है. बट द थिंग इज what you are going to do with the undergraduates and what you are going to do with the schools where laboratory work is essential. Thank you so much. बहुत शुक्रिया. मेरा क्वेश्चन सब पैनलिस्ट के लिए.
थैंक यू डॉक्टर साहब. एक दो और क्वेश्चन ले लेते हैं, फिर मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा पैनलिस्ट से कि वो जवाब दें. एनी अदर क्वेश्चन? कोई और साथी हैं हमारे? किसी और ने? जी
शाहिद अली आमिर.
जी
जी, मैं ख्वाजा साहब और डॉक्टर नादिया की बात से तो एग्री कर रहा हूँ. इन दोनों की बातों से ज्यादा जो बड़ा चैलेंज है वो हमारे लिए एनर्जी है. आजकल लॉकडाउन की वजह से फैक्ट्रीज बंद हैं और अदर थिंग बंद है, तो इस वक्त तो ठीक है, आगे गर्मियां आ रही हैं, उसमें क्या होगा? हमें कनेक्टिविटी से पहले एनर्जी को एनहेंस करने के लिए इस चैलेंज को देखना पड़ेगा. और दूसरा, इन्होंने बिल्कुल ठीक कहा, डॉक्टर ख्वाजा साहब ने भी और डॉक्टर नादिया ने भी और कुछ लोगों ने भी, कि कनेक्टिविटी का बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है. अब सब लोग जब यूनिवर्सिटी और स्टूडेंट कनेक्ट होंगे तो आईपी जो इंटरनेट सर्विस प्रोवाइडर हैं उनको भी लोड पड़ेगा, तो इस चीज को भी देखना चाहिए. थैंक यू.
थैंक यू सो मच नियामत. कोई और क्वेश्चन? एक और क्वेश्चन
शाहिद साहब, शुजात
जी.
मैं थोड़ा सा इस पूरे कॉन्टेक्स्ट में अपना एक्सपीरियंस शेयर कर देता हूँ, क्योंकि आई एम आल्सो पार्ट ऑफ दिस ई लर्निंग फ्रॉम चाइना. जो एक्सपीरियंस
प्लीज.
तो उधर एक्चुअली हुआ ये है हमारे साथ कि जो भी एलएमएस बनाया गया, जो भी पोर्टल्स बनाए गए, सबसे पहले जो कि यहाँ पे यूनिवर्सिटीज में जो डेफिशिएंसीज नजर आई कि यूनिवर्सिटीज के एलएमएस तो एक्टिव हैं, लेकिन एलएमएस को चलाना कैसे है, एलएमएस को ऑपरेट किस तरह करना है, ना फैकल्टी के पास कोई मैनुअल है, ना स्टूडेंट्स को कोई ऐसा मैनुअल प्रोवाइड किया गया है यूनिवर्सिटीज की तरफ से कि वो उसको किस तरह से लेके चले. नंबर 2, हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी जो है बीजिंग यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी ने ये किया कि जो ग्रेजुएशन जिनकी करीब थी, जो स्टूडेंट्स ग्रेजुएट हो रहे थे, इधर पीएचडी और मास्टर्स, उनका थोड़ा सा डिग्री ड्यूरेशन टाइम एक्सटेंड कर दिया बिकॉज ऑफ के अगर किसी का लैब वर्क रहता है तो वो जाके लैब वर्क वो करे, अगर किसी का किसी किस्म का भी कोई काम रहता है वो जाके वो करे. लेकिन ऑन द अदर साइड बाकी रिसर्चेस को कॉम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए या इवन प्रेजेंटेशंस को कॉम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए उन्होंने अपने ही पोर्टल्स में ऐसी प्रोविजंस हमें प्रोवाइड की हुई हैं. थर्ड चीज ये है कि नो डाउट कि पाकिस्तान में इंटरनेट का जो चैलेंज है वो बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है कि हम कनेक्टिविटी को इतना प्रॉपरली अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते. जो हमारे साथ या जो हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी ने किया या बीजिंग यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी ने जो चीज की वो ये की कि जो वीपीएन सर्विसेज हैं वो भी एक्टिवेट कर दी अक्रॉस द ग्लोब. आप अपनी यूनिवर्सिटी को या उस एलएमएस को या उस पोर्टल को आप एक्सेस कर सकते हैं. तो सबसे बड़ा जो जितने भी चैलेंजेस एड्रेस हुए ये कोई लोकली पाकिस्तान में चैलेंजेस नहीं है, ये ग्लोबल चैलेंजेस हैं. इस वक्त ग्लोबली इस सिनारियो को डील किया जा रहा है जिसमें लॉस हो रहा है स्टूडेंट्स का, बट ऑन द सेम साइड कुछ न्यू इफेक्टिव वेज भी हमें निकालने होंगे फॉर लर्निंग, क्योंकि आगे जितना भी टाइम आ रहा है, जितना भी प्रोसेस आ रहा है, वो आ रहा है ई लर्निंग का या डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजी का आ रहा है, जिसकी तरफ हमें अपनी वैल्यू चेन्स को भी मूव करना पड़ेगा।
बिल्कुल ठीक है, बिल्कुल ठीक है शुजात सर, थैंक यू सो मच। मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा बाकी साथी जिनके क्वेश्चन हैं वो लिख के मुझे भेज दें, तब तक मैं डॉक्टर नादिया अगर आप रिस्पॉन्स कर सकें इन क्वेश्चन को, फिर मैं बाकी पेरेंट्स की तरफ ही जाता हूँ।
I agree with Khwaja Saab, Shujat and Shehbaz Saab. These are the challenges. But there are two ways of dealing the same issue. One is that somebody has to come and solve these issues. And partially it is correct approach. Government, telcos have to come out with the offers कि connectivity के लिए आसान कैसे किया जाए, लोगों को कैसे जोड़ा जाए काम करने के लिए. They are physically not together, but for working they are working in a virtual reality and they should be together while they are working. और आमिर ने जैसे कहा, अली आमिर ने कि एनर्जी शॉर्टेज would be another challenge. I can add one or two more challenges. हमारी जो एवरेज फैमिली साइज है वो 6.2 है. अगर हम अपना PSLM देखते हैं और उसमें हम सर्वे में देखें कि हमारा एवरेज फैमिली साइज 6 to 7 people. And average house size would be one room with small cottage. पक्का घर 70% लोगों के पास है, but their living facilities and environment would be another challenge. एक घर में 7 लोग हैं, आपने उन्हें connectivity भी दे दी है, तो where they are going to read and when they have the spare time कि concentration के साथ पढ़ सकें. Another challenge for the teachers. They have to change their teaching methodology. Teaching pedagogies have to be changed. हमारे स्टूडेंट्स का चैलेंज एक और चैलेंज है कि वो क्या इसके लिए तैयार हैं कि वो पढ़ के आए घर से और फिर उसके बाद दे बीन क्वेश्चनिंग द टीचर एंड हैविंग ए डिस्कशन इन ए क्रिटिकल मोड, और क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग की बेसिस पे हम जज करें, और हमारी असेसमेंट टेक्निक इन सारे चैलेंजेस को इनकॉर्पोरेट करें. दूसरा सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज कि हम इस अनसर्टेनिटी से अपने दिमाग को बाहर निकाल लें. It is for the 2 months only. From 31st May onward, universities would return to the normalcy. Whatsoever, this is there, and now we are exposed to this virtual reality. और हम इसका component कम या ज़्यादा कर सकते हैं, लेकिन now we have to live with this. और हमारे teachers को, हमारे students को इसको address करना है. एक जिसारत करूंगी सिर्फ ये कहने की, शहबाज साहब ने कहा कि जी HEC फोर्स कर रहा है कि ऑनलाइन किया जाए. देखिए जितनी जल्दी हम एक्सेप्ट कर लेंगे, इट्स नॉट लाइक अ फोर्सिंग एनीबडी टू डू. इस वक्त ये एक चैलेंज आ पड़ा है. एक है देयर इज नो एजुकेशन, वी कैन ऑल सिट एट होम डूइंग नथिंग. दूसरा है we try to address the challenge. Some education is always better or considered better as compared to no education. हमारे पास इसके अलावा choice ही कोई नहीं है. It is not a forced choice. It is something now we have to accept it if we are living in this digital era. So be our help, be our support. अपनी टीचर्स, अपने स्टूडेंट्स के साथ ज्यादा से ज्यादा वक्त लगाएं, उनकी बातों को सुने, उनके प्रॉब्लम्स को एड्रेस करने की कोशिश करें. देखिए अभी शुजात कह रहा है कि जी उन्होंने मैनुअल दे दिया, टाइम एक्सटेंड कर दिया, हमारे साथ फैसिलिटेट करने को तैयार हैं. हमारा टीचर अभी तक सिर्फ बुनियादी इस सवाल को नहीं जानता कि कितने स्टूडेंट्स उसकी क्लास में से हैं जो कि जेन्युइनली प्रॉब्लम में हैं, और उन तक पहुंचने का क्या तरीका होगा. और हम चाह रहे हैं कि वन साइज फिट फॉर ऑल, HEC को रेगुलेशन बनाए, कोई टेलको बनाए, फिर उसके बाद वो आए. दिस इज आवर अप्रोच. नथिंग harm, nothing wrong with this approach, but it will take more time. Our response have to be swift. और जितनी जल्दी adaptability की तरफ हम चले जाएंगे, उतनी जल्दी हम इस चैलेंज पे ओवरकम कर लेंगे. ये तो मेरी थी submission as a genuinely person who believes in learning and education in Pakistan. As a regulator or as somebody who works in regulatory authority, जो quality compromised है, दुनिया ने articles इस पे बेहद लिख लिए हैं कि how we can make it a more comprehensive experience, accomplished experience and complete experience while we are teaching online. तो हम yes, we cannot have face-to-face learning teaching quality, लेकिन हमें कोशिश करनी चाहिए कि उसके करीब तक पहुंच जाए। कैसे करना है? We all have to work together. और उसमें पहली की the first solution is to have an interaction. Provide students a forum where they can directly ask a question or pose a question to the teacher. अब वो अगर सोशल मीडिया पे लिख रहे हैं, why not they are complaining to their teachers and why not the teacher is addressing those issues. So मेरा आप सबसे गुजारिश है, आपके थ्रू SDPI के थ्रू सबसे, कि जी बराए मेहरबानी इसको चैलेंज को लाइक चैलेंज एक्सेप्ट कीजिए। इसमें 2 महीने का वक्त AGC दे रही है कि 31 मई तक हम अपनी प्रिपरेशन को चेक कर लेते हैं, 31 मई तक LMS इंस्टॉल हो जाए, कोर्सेज ऑनलाइन रेडी हो जाएं, क्वालिटी कंटेंट ऑनलाइन रेडी हो जाए, वाइस चांसलर सर्टिफाई कर दें कि through a supervisory committee, all courses are ready to teach in online mode. Coursera, edX और ये बहुत सारे ऐसे फोरम जिन्होंने ऑनलाइन कोर्सेज किए हुए हैं, these are free. हम as it is उनको अडॉप्ट नहीं कर सकते, हमें अपनी नेशनल नीड्स को उसमें इनकॉर्पोरेट करना है और उसके बाद हम अपने स्टूडेंट्स के लिए बेहतर कोर्सेज बना सकते हैं।
थैंक यू सो मच डॉक्टर नादिया। अभी आपकी तरफ
cannot do.
जी बिल्कुल ठीक है। अभी मैं दोबारा से आता हूँ डॉक्टर अफशान की तरफ। ये 1-2 क्वेश्चन और ले लो। डॉक्टर साजिद फ्रॉम SDPI, डॉक्टर इकरार साहब, पहले डॉक्टर साजिद और फिर डॉक्टर इकरार, फिर हम दोबारा से डिस्कशन को लेके चलते हैं आगे। और अगर कुछ लोग अपने कैमरा ऑफ कर दें तो क्वालिटी बेहतर हो जाएगी। थैंक यू। जी डॉक्टर साजिद,
जी सर, थैंक यू सो मच, वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग डिस्कशन। माय ओनली पॉइंट जहां पे मुझे थोड़ी सी चाहिए होगी फीडबैक, मुझे लगता है अभी हमारे जो बहुत सारी डिस्कशन है या जो बहुत सारे चैलेंजेस जो हम कंसर्न्स शो कर रहे हैं इवन क्वेश्चन सेक्शन में भी, वो शायद हम एज्यूम कर रहे हैं कि यही सूरत हाल कंप्लीट लॉकडाउन की रहेगी हमेशा। मेरी अंडरस्टैंडिंग है ये बड़ा एक शॉर्ट पीरियड होगा, 2 माह का हो सकता है, 4 माह का हो सकता है, 5 माह का हो सकता है, बट देन इन मीडियम टू लॉन्ग रन मुझे लगता है कि इस क्राइसिस के जो गेन्स हैं वो इसके चैलेंजेस से ज्यादा हैं, फायदे मुझे लगता है इससे ज्यादा हैं। वो चीज जो हम पहले नहीं कर पाए, जो हमारा एजुकेशन सिस्टम इसमें मूव नहीं कर पाया, वो शायद अब एक ब्लेंडेड सिस्टम पे हम चले जाएंगे। और मुझे लगता है बहुत सारे जो चैलेंजेस यहाँ किए जा रहे थे कि जैसे प्रैक्टिकल्स का हो गया या जो लेबोरेटरी वर्क का हो गया, वो शायद इस अजम्पशन के साथ हैं कि ये बहुत इन्फिनिट पीरियड तक कंप्लीट लॉकडाउन में रहेगा। बट आई थिंक वी विल बी मूविंग टू द ब्लेंडेड टीचिंग मेथड्स और लर्निंग मेथड्स, जहाँ पे इसका एक बड़ा बैलेंस्ड इस्तेमाल होगा, फेस टू फेस लर्निंग का भी और उसमें भी। और दूसरा पॉइंट इससे जो जुड़ा हुआ है, जो मुझे लगता है फायदा होगा, आपको पता है हमारी क्लास टीचिंग्स में मैं जो कि खुद भी 10-15 साल पढ़ाता रहा हूँ, जो लर्निंग मटेरियल अवेलेबिलिटी है वाइडर सर्कुलेशन के लिए वो अवेलेबल नहीं थी। आप सिर्फ वही बंदा देख सकता था जो क्लास में जा सकता है, उसके अलावा जो एक मैथ्स लर्निंग के लिए या जो क्वालिटी ऑफ, तो मुझे लगता है कि अगर हम ऑनलाइन उस पर जाते हैं या ब्लेंडेड मेथड्स पे जाते हैं तो टीचर्स को भी अपना जो टीचिंग कंटेंट है या जो कोर्स कंटेंट है वो बड़ा मेहनत से तैयार करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि वो वाइडली सर्कुलेट हो रहा होगा। तो मुझे लगता है कि गेन्स शायद इसके ज्यादा होंगे इन मीडियम टू लॉन्ग रन। ऑफ कोर्स चैलेंजेस आर फॉर वेरी शॉर्ट पीरियड। थैंक
यू सो मच डॉक्टर साहब। जी डॉक्टर इकरार ऑनलाइन है?
जी thank you. First of all, let me compliment SDPI for holding a very important session. According to my understanding, the problem lies on the teacher side. Everything else is doable. It could not be more than 10% of a problem on the student side, particularly of the connectivity. If HEC invests into that, that can be easily resolved. but the preparation of teacher, the mindset of teacher, not coming out of teacher-centric university. It is, I think, God-sent opportunity for us to move from teacher-centric to learner-centric environment. Okay, with that quick comment, I would like to use this forum to convey another serious concern. You have heard the guy from Beijing telling you that they have extended the degree duration for master and PhD students. That's almost universal now. Wherever there are lockdowns, the degree durations have been extended. And that includes a significant number of scholars which are sponsored by HEC. Now, HEC must consider now extending their coverage for the extended period of duration, because the students are on receiving end and they simply can't do anything. They're stuck there. So HEC must look into it. There are about 1,200 H-sponsored scholars all over the world doing masters and PhD degrees, and they're all in this extended mode, and they deserve to be looked after. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ikrar, for your valuable inputs and the challenges that we are looking forward. If I may request to Dr. Babar Shahbaz, if he can take his response on this practical aspects of the science aspects of this challenge of quality education. Dr. Babar Shahbaz sir.
जी, इसमें मैं डॉक्टर नादिया ने बिल्कुल इसमें रिस्पॉन्ड किया है कि नोबडी वाज प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर इट। फॉर द साथ में डॉक्टर साजिद की बात को भी सेकंड करूंगा कि इसको हम लॉन्ग टर्म में नहीं देख रहे, लेकिन इसके गेन्स ज्यादा हो सकते हैं। तो इन क्योंकि इसमें एक इमरजेंसी सिचुएशन है, नोबडी वाज प्रिपेयर्ड, नोबडी वाज रेडी कि उन्होंने इतनी जल्दी इसको स्विच ओवर करना है। बट द टीचर लर्निंग नाउ कि किस तरह से उन्होंने इसको ग्रेजुअली लेके जाना है। तो इसमें एक हमारे लिए अपॉर्चुनिटी है कि व्हेन एवर दिस इमरजेंसी सिचुएशन इज गॉन, तो हमें एक साथ साथ एक पार्ट ऑफ दी इसका जो टीचिंग सिस्टम बनाना पड़ेगा कि कुछ परसेंटेज शुड बी द सॉर्ट ऑफ रिवर्स क्लासरूम। स्टूडेंट जो है वो घर से
Babar, excuse me, Babar. Listen, you have had this system 3 years ago. Why have not the teachers adopted to it? This is the teacher side. Don't blame the system. This is the teacher who is not willing to change him.
हाँ जी, तो इसमें सिस्टम टीचर यही करते हैं कि जो भी उसमें फाइल्स हैं वो एलएमएस में रख देते हैं एंड देन इट इज अज्यूम दैट कि उसको स्टूडेंट उसको पढ़ लेंगे। दिस इज आई एग्री कि इसमें टीचर्स का भी उतना ही उसमें दे आर टू बी ब्लेम कि उन्होंने उसको फुल हार्टेडली इसको कंसेप्ट को समझा नहीं। कंसेप्ट को उसी वक्त समझेंगे कि जैसा अब हमारे पास अपॉर्चुनिटी आई है इवन जो फिजिकल क्लासेस आर नॉट पॉसिबल। अब बहुत सारे टीचर को ये समझ में आना शुरू हो गया है कि दे हैव टू डू समथिंग। अभी तक एलएमएस का यही जो मेजॉरिटी ऑफ टीचर वो कर रहे थे कि जो भी मटेरियल है उसको एलएमएस पे अपलोड कर दिया जाए एंड स्टूडेंट विल डाउनलोड इट और क्लास में आगे उसको डिस्कस कर लिया जाएगा। आई थिंक ये जो एलएमएस या ऑनलाइन सिस्टम की स्पिरिट ही नहीं है। स्पिरिट ये है कि जो स्टूडेंट है वो इट शुड बी अ सॉर्ट ऑफ रिवर्स क्लासरूम। तो इसमें जैसा मैं बात कर रहा था कि वी नाउ हैव द अपॉर्चुनिटी कि ये जो एक पेंडेमिक है और जो इमरजेंसी सिचुएशन है इसमें हमें वी हैव टू इट हैज गिवन अस अपॉर्चुनिटी टू थिंक ओवर कि हम एटलीस्ट कुछ पार्ट टोटली इन द ट्रू स्पिरिट जो ऑनलाइन सिस्टम की तरफ स्विच करें। तो इसमें बिल्कुल मैं डॉक्टर नादिया ने भी यही बात की थी, डॉक्टर इकरार साहब भी यही कह रहे हैं कि जिन यूनिवर्सिटीज में कई सालों जैसे यूएफ में कई सालों से एलएमएस इन प्लेस है लेकिन उसको टीचर्स ने उस तरह से इन दी ट्रू सेंस अडॉप्ट करने की कोशिश ही नहीं की। जी,
थैंक यू सो मच डॉक्टर बाबर। आपकी बात कंप्लीट हो गई या कुछ और कहना चाह रहे हैं?
जी कंप्लीट।
If you have done Dr. Afshan, if I may ask you one key question, मुझे ये बताइए कि ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी इस वक्त जो है वो प्रैक्टिकली ये काम कर रही है। ये बताइए कि जब 16 लाख स्टूडेंट्स का बर्डन जो है और ऐड ऑन हो जाएगा इस सारे के सारे सेटअप के अंदर और 60,000 टीचर में से लेट्स से 30,000 टीचर और इंगेज हो जाएंगे, तो आप क्या समझती हैं कि ये सिस्टम कोप अप कर सकेगा, सिस्टम चल सकेगा, और या हमें क्या किन पैरामीटर्स की तरफ जाना चाहिए कि हम जो है वो एक क्वालिटी सर्विसेज दे सकें ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन के लिए? ऑब्वियसली जैसे पहले बात हो रही है बिहेवियर में तो हमें सबको चेंज लानी ही पड़ेगी, लेकिन क्या सिस्टम जो है उसको हमें कहाँ तक सपोर्ट करेगा? जी डॉक्टर अफशा।
शाहिद साहब अगर आप मुझे इजाजत दें तो मैं इस पर कमेंट करती हूँ। जो आपने सवाल पूछा है, लेकिन जो पहले डिस्कशन चल रही थी उसमें एक दो चीजों के ऊपर मैं कमेंट करना चाहूंगी। अच्छा जी, हमने जब LMS पे स्विच ओवर किया था अपने पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट प्रोग्राम्स को, तो उस वक्त हमने जोंग और PTCL के साथ बकायदा एक MOU साइन करके 2 साल के लिए इंस्टॉलमेंट्स पर टैबलेट्स और इंस्टॉलमेंट्स पर और सॉरी लोअर कॉस्ट के ऊपर कनेक्शंस लोगों के लिए, अपने स्टूडेंट्स के लिए अवेलेबल करवाए थे। एंड जोंग एंड PTCL बोथ एग्रीड विद अस एंड दे हेल्प्ड अस आउट फॉर अबाउट 2 years, जिसमें हमारे वो स्टूडेंट्स जो कि पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट प्रोग्राम्स में आ रहे थे उनके लिए एक बहुत बड़ी सहूलत हुई थी। आई थिंक अगर HSC के फोरम से इन टेलीकम्युनिकेशन कंपनीज के साथ एग्रीमेंट्स किए जाएं, वी कैन नॉट फुली overcome this issue, but we can help out the students in most of the regions. साइंस एजुकेशन हमारा बकायदा साइंस एजुकेशन के प्रोग्राम्स भी हैं। मोस्ट ऑफ देम आर इन ब्लेंडेड मोड। Why they are in blended mode? कि हम simulations यूज कर सकते हैं to a large extent। जो नॉलेज ऑलरेडी स्टूडेंट ने अपनी रिसर्च से पहले लेना है, उसकी इवन हैंड्स ऑन एक्टिविटीज भी हम सिमुलेशन के जरिए करवा सकते हैं। साइंस स्टूडेंट्स का नंबर हमारा रिलेटिवली कम होता है, लेकिन होता है, और we have been using it, and these simulations can be created by certain institutions and can be shared by other institutions as well. मुझे जो एक सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज यहाँ नजर आ रही है वो शेयरिंग ऑफ रिसोर्सेज की नजर आ रही है। HEC के एक प्रोजेक्ट में इट वाज डिसाइडेड कि हम उनका पोर्टल इस्तेमाल करेंगे सो दैट ऑल मटेरियल दैट वी पुट अप देयर हम इस एग्रीमेंट के साथ देते थे कि अगर कोई और भी इसको एक्सेस करना चाहेगा पार्टनर यूनिवर्सिटीज में से तो वो करेगा। वी शुड मूव टुवर्ड्स सच सॉल्यूशंस जिसमें अगर कोई एक इंस्टीट्यूशन भी इस तरह के सिमुलेशंस और इस तरह की एप्स डेवलप कर लेता है फॉर देयर स्टूडेंट्स, द अदर इंस्टीट्यूशंस शुड बी गिवन एक्सेस टू दैट। Let's not get into a rivalry neither among the institutions nor between the HEC and institutions. Number 3, हमारे LMS यूनिवर्सिटीज के मोबाइल डिवाइस रिस्पॉन्सिव होने चाहिए। होता यह है कि वो लैपटॉप पर चलते हैं, वो PC पर चलते हैं, लेकिन वो मोबाइल डिवाइसेस पर नहीं चलते। जब हम उसको मोबाइल रिस्पॉन्सिव कर लें तो वो इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग कनेक्शन नहीं मांगता जितना कि अदरवाइज मांगता है। तो ये बनाते हुए ही ख्याल करें। एक सवाल बीच में आया था कि स्टूडेंट्स को नहीं पता होता हाउ टू यूज इट। हम सबसे पहले स्टूडेंट को एक SMS भेजते हैं, उस SMS में उसका लॉगिन पासवर्ड जाता है। वो जैसे ही लॉगिन होता है उसके ऊपर एक ट्यूटोरियल पड़ा हुआ होता है। वो ट्यूटोरियल स्क्रीनशॉट्स के साथ, वॉइस ओवर के साथ उसको एक एक स्टेप देता है। हर LMS पे उसकी स्क्रीन के नीचे हेल्प नंबर भी है और ईमेल ID भी है। अगर वो स्टूडेंट इस्तेमाल करते हुए कहीं पर स्टक होता है तो वो उस हेल्प नंबर पे या ईमेल पे कनेक्ट करता है और अपनी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करवाता है। जहां तक बात है कि ये लॉकडाउन एक दिन खत्म हो जाना है और अल्लाह करे कि बहुत जल्दी खत्म हो जाए, जो बात अभी हो रही थी, लेट्स टेक इट एज एन अपॉर्चुनिटी। मैंने 2000 में इंटेल में एज अ सीनियर ट्रेनर काम किया है, जब मैं एजुकेशन के लोगों को काइंड ऑफ कैंपेनिंग कर रही थी और ये ट्रेनिंग दे रही थी कि प्लीज कम टुवर्ड्स टेक्नोलॉजी एंड हाउ दिस इज गोइंग टू हेल्प यू। ये जो लर्निंग मटेरियल डेवलपमेंट है, मैं एक ऐसी यूनिवर्सिटी में काम करती हूँ which has been publishing books as well, and then we moved on with the online learning materials. I'm telling you with my experience of over 16 years now कि developing online learning materials in this time and space is much easier. आपके पास रिसोर्सेज अवेलेबल हैं, आपके पास डिजिटल लाइब्रेरी अवेलेबल है, आपके पास इतने टूल्स अवेलेबल हैं। मैं अभी एक छोटी सी एनिमेशन बनाना चाहती थी और मैंने एक ऐप डाउनलोड की है जिसमें एनिमेशन बन जाएगी। सो मैं एक ऐसे दौर में जी रही हूँ एज अ फैकल्टी मेंबर कि मेरे पास ऑनलाइन बेतहाशा टूल्स फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट अवेलेबल होते हैं. Then comes Nadia's comment twice, I think, of critical thinking. जब हम फ्लिप्ड क्लासरूम के ऊपर जाते हैं तो उसमें सबसे बड़ा एलिमेंट ही हम ये बताते हैं और अपनी ट्रेनिंग्स में भी बताते हैं कि जब आप फ्लिप्ड क्लासरूम पे चले जाएंगे, स्टूडेंट रीडिंग करेगा. नाउ एज अ साइकोलॉजिस्ट, एजुकेशनल साइकोलॉजिस्ट, मैं ये बात करूँ, स्टूडेंट पहले रीडिंग करेगा, स्टूडेंट पहले आपका ऑनलाइन लेक्चर सुन लेगा. जब वो आपके साथ इंटरेक्शन में आएगा तो उसका ब्रेन उस इंफॉर्मेशन को ऑलरेडी प्रोसेस कर चुका है, वो पहली दफा आपको वहां नहीं सुन रहा. नाउ द ब्रेन कैन प्रोसेस फर्दर एंड ब्रिंग आउट क्रिटिकल क्वेश्चंस. ये एक बहुत बड़ी अपॉर्चुनिटी होती है. मैंने और मेरी 2 कलीग्स ने टर्की में इस पे पूरा पेपर प्रेजेंट किया था कि जो ऑनलाइन लर्निंग मोड है और जो फ्लिप्ड क्लासरूम है वो क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग को और इंक्लूजन ऑफ मल्टीपल वॉइसेस एंड ओपिनियन को ज्यादा स्पेस देता है बनिस्बत एक बाउंड्रीज क्लासरूम के. अब हम आते हैं आपके क्वेश्चन की तरफ, जिसमें आपने कहा कि जब स्टूडेंट्स बढ़ रहे हैं और जब ट्यूटर्स बढ़ रहे हैं तो हम क्या कर रहे हैं. हम ये कर रहे हैं कि अल्लामा इकबाल ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी का एक स्ट्रक्चर है जिसमें एक शख्स होता है प्रोग्राम कोऑर्डिनेटर और एक होता है कोर्स कोऑर्डिनेटर. All the materials are to be developed and uploaded by only these 2 people. Tutors are not supposed to do that. Tutors are only executing the course with us. So whatever activities I'm designing for one group of students is accessible to every group of students. तो मुझे कोई multiple चीजें नहीं बनानी पड़ती. अगर मेरे प्रोग्राम में 200 स्टूडेंट आते हैं और एक पैरेलल मास्टर्स प्रोग्राम में 20,000 स्टूडेंट आता है तो मैं और वो कोर्स कोऑर्डिनेटर एक ही जितना काम करते हैं. मैंने भी उतनी ही चीजें डिजाइन करके ऑनलाइन रखनी है जितनी 20,000 वाले ने रखनी है. ट्रैफिक बढ़ जाती है. उस ट्रैफिक को बढ़ने के लिए हम ये करते हैं कि बिल्कुल जैसे हम अपने ट्यूटोरियल सिस्टम्स बकायदा टाइम स्लॉट्स के साथ सेपरेटली करते थे, हम बिल्कुल इसी तरह अभी भी अपने ट्यूटोरियल सिस्टम सेपरेट कर रहे हैं. हमने भी एक्सटेंड की हैं कुछ चीजें. कल हमारी एकेडमिक काउंसिल हुई है और उसमें हमने कुछ चीजों का पीरियड जिनका 16 वीक्स होता है उसको हम 20 वीक्स पे ले गए. इसीलिए क्योंकि अगर हम उसको टाइम स्लॉट्स देना चाहें और एक एक प्रोग्राम को टाइम स्लॉट्स देना चाहें तो हम 16 वीक्स में खत्म नहीं कर पाएंगे. तो हम उसको स्लॉट्स में कर रहे हैं. प्लस हमारे रीजनल कैंपसेस हैं. इफ यू नो तो ये सिर्फ अल्लामा इकबाल ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी के सेंटर से चीजें रन नहीं हो रही. हमारे 52 रीजनल कैंपसेस हैं, वो भी हेल्प आउट हो जाता है. अगेन शेयरिंग ऑफ रिसोर्सेज बहुत जरूरी है इस वक्त में. अगर एक एक इंस्टीट्यूशन अपने तय अलग-अलग करने की कोशिश करेगा तो उस पर बहुत बर्डन आ जाएगा. थैंक यू.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Afsha. I think we have consumed much of the time as we have planned, and if there is no specific concern or query or response from Dr. Nadia, so I think let me thanks to Dr.
मैं ऐड कर सकती हूँ शायद साहब, सिर्फ एक पॉइंट.
जी प्लीज.
हमने QEC को एक्सेस दी है और हमारा क्वालिटी एनहांसमेंट सेल can anytime log in as a student into any course portal. They can log in as a tutor, they can log in as a student. और ये इतना बड़ा इम्पैक्ट देता है क्वालिटी मेंटेन करने के लिए कि एवरी कोर्स कोऑर्डिनेटर नोज कि वीकली एक्टिविटी क्या चल रही है और किसी भी वक्त QEC उसको एज अ स्टूडेंट या एज अ ट्यूटर लॉग इन करके पूरा मॉनिटर करते हैं और साइलेंटली ऑब्जर्व करते हैं. एंड देन दे सेंड अस अ नोट कि जी आपका ये चल रहा है और ये नहीं चल रहा है. सो दैट मॉनिटरिंग इज हेल्पिंग अस टू मेंटेन द क्वालिटी एज वेल.
जी बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सही कहा डॉक्टर शाह आपने. डॉक्टर नादिया भी यही कह रही हैं कि अल्लामा इकबाल ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी तो बनी ही डिस्टेंस लर्निंग मोड के ऊपर है. यकीनन आपकी जो बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस हैं वो बाकी यूनिवर्सिटीज भी अडॉप्ट करेंगी, HEC भी मुस्तफीद होगी और जो भी बेस्ट ऑप्शन है सिनर्जीज बिल्ड करने की ज़रूरत है. लेट मी से स्पेशल थैंक्स टू डॉक्टर नादिया ताहिर फॉर स्पेयरिंग हर टाइम. लेट मी वेरी स्पेशली थैंक टू डॉक्टर अफशा हुमा, Sarullah Saab from UNESCO, Dr. Babar Shehbaz who joined us. Thank you so much, Dr. Babar, for sparing your time. And also very special thank to Rabiat Bassam for all this facilitation and managing this program. Aisha Kasrani for holding this, and very special thanks to my own Executive Director, Dr. Abdul Suleri, for his commitment to launch such program and generate such kind of discussion. Of course, we are now living in a digital era, and we have to, by all means, focus this technological advancement, and we have to opt these methods. Later or sooner, we have to go on these methods. Methodist. Thank you so much for your time, and this discussion will continue in some future program as well. आप सबका बहुत शुक्रिया, अपना ख्याल रखिएगा, अल्लाह हाफिज।